Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover, and I was just making a quick note before I forgot because you guys know how my memory is these days. Race to 500 friends. We're going to talk about that in a minute of our IENDS. Okay, so it's me. This thing is just not fabulous. I'm really struggling with the lighting in here this morning. Whoop, and I've got sound coming up behind me. Okay, so good morning. This is Robin from Roaming with Rover. And what we've got going on today is a problem. Miss Dana contacted me last night and said that they are having humongous storms and power outages and all kinds of problems. And so she was not sure if she was going to be able to make it this morning. So looks like she has not. And that's okay. If she has not made it this morning, good morning, Dina. Thank you for popping in. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to visit. Oh, the lighting in here. Every time I move, the lighting readjusts itself. Good morning, Crafty Critter. I'm trying to get the lighting. Is that okay? Can you guys see me okay? I tried turning this off. Let me show you what happens. Every time I move, the light kind of flops in and out. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. See, it's just like complete dark in here. Oh, and now it's adjusting a little bit. Okay, what is better? Light on? Yeah, I think that's definitely better. Even though every time I move, it's going to flux in and out. I have got to get me a lighting setup. I say that every week, don't I? So, hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sheriff. Hi from England. What time is it in England, Sharon? We spent some time in Germany, and I know there's a huge time difference between Germany and the US. Good morning, Roseanne and Donna and Miss Frog. How are you today? Crafty Critter and Deneen. Crafty Critter, I'm trying to remember. You won last night, didn't you, in bingo? I've got my little address list here. Yeah, you won last week in bingo. And gosh, we had a good time playing bingo last night. I think we had a good time. I sure did. So Miss Dina is, it's 4 p.m, Sharon. Okay. So they had a really bad storm last night, and I don't remember where she is. I want to say Texas. I think she's Central Time Zone. But anyway, they had a really bad storm last night, and they lost their power. And I got a quick email, and she said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. We've lost our power, and we're dealing with a lot of stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I just figured we'd be winging it this morning. Not the first time. So here we are 2 weeks in a row without our planned guest. So today we are just going to chit chat, if that's okay with everybody. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today? So to borrow from, she's in Connecticut. Okay. To borrow from one of the other fun ladies, tell me what's in your cup and what's on your hook. I have my pumpkin spice coffee, not my good kind that I like. The good kind that I like is from Trader Joe's. And I am actually using up coffee pods in my Keurig that we had accumulated when we were working in Texas. And one of the guys down there gave us a box with 100 coffee pods in it. So I'm using those up right now. When they're gone, I will dig out my regular coffee pot and go back to my yummy Trader Joe's pumpkin spice coffee. But for today, I've got a coffee pod with pumpkin spice coffee and chocolate protein shake. I try to add protein shake to my coffees to help give me just a little boost in the morning. Good morning, Pamela. Thank you for joining us. Let me take a little sip. So what are you guys drinking? What do you guys what's in your cup? What's on your hook? What are your projects? What's going on right now? We're just chit-chatting because Miss Dina had a little emergency at her house. They lost their power. And so we'll get her another day. Just so y'all know, as of right now, I have scheduled guests out through the end of August, middle of August, end of August, something like that. I don't like to schedule out too far because then it becomes a problem. But at the same time, I want to have a lot of fun guests in the lineup for you. So we've got some really fun guests coming up next week. We have, who do we have next week? Darla from the Crafty Yarn Owl. I adore her. She's just a sweetheart. And I saw today, I'm so far behind in watching my videos. Oh, Klamath Falls. I've been there. Klamath Falls, Oregon is beautiful. That's fun. Oh, you took dishcloths with you to work on. That's a great idea. That's a great travel project. I've got 2 or 3 dishcloths that I just found patterns for that I want to make. And I have a ton. Oh, I was going to show you the last yarn I picked up. I made one last quick trip into Hobby Lobby and just got a couple of, literally just a couple little bitty things. And I forgot I was going to bring those out and show them to you, but they're way in the other room. I don't want to crawl out of my little nest here. I picked up some Toasty Toes, which is their brand of sock yarn. Kim, she shows all the sales and stuff. It's crafty. Anyway, she does stuff for you to show you how to save money and all of the sales and all of the links and all that kind of stuff. And I apologize, Kim. You know, my brain is just not working right now, ever anymore. But she had mentioned the Toasty Toes was one of the things that she was interested in picking up when she made her trip. She had made a list, and I like that idea a lot, making a little list when you go in so you know what you're looking for. Because I had specifically gone in for sugar wheels and for the hanks of the hand-dyed stuff. And I was looking for cotton yarn as well. They didn't have a lot of cotton yarn, but I did pick up some, as you guys saw. Got beautiful cotton linen mix. And also the Toasty Toes, which is for socks. It's sock yarn. But I got 5 or 6 of them, I think. And that should be enough for a shawl, I believe. So, you haven't got your coffee yet, Frog. So we've got coffee and dishcloths. And Frog is getting your blanket of many colors caught up. Yes, that's a beautiful project you got going on. Oh, you went to South Carolina. There's a beach there that's really nice. I can't remember the name of it. Is that where you guys went, or did you go visit friends and stuff? And Sharon is doing a cotton granny square bag. Okay. Oh, the Vila flower shawl. Oh yeah. New to crochet. That's a good project. Not a good project. What I'm trying to say is not aggressive, but kind of a tricky project for a new crocheter is doing that flower shawl. So good on you. Let's see who else is in here. Miss Pamela. Hello. Oh, that's all right. Our Miss Morgan just got home from work, so she's sneaking in the back door, and Max has to say hello. He doesn't have an inside voice, let me tell you. Not at all. I'll ask Morgan to grab that bag for me with the Toasty Toes, and I can show you the new little bit of yarn. Edisto Beach on Edisto Island. Oh, I bet that was fun. We're half thinking about maybe doing a little weekend camping, but maybe not. We've still got so much to do around here. I can't see that that's going to actually happen. We talked about it, but you know how that goes. Baby blanket and need more coffee. Yeah, I filled mine up right before we started. Hey, Morgan, would you grab a bag for me? It's next to the closet, and it's the Hobby Lobby bag. It's on that stack next to the closet. I've got some yarn for baby blankets, but I don't have any babies. And I keep thinking, for one thing, it's a good way to practice a stitch. Yep, that's the one. Thanks, dear. How was work? This is her day off, and she had to go in for a mandatory meeting at 6 in the morning. I would not have been happy. Oh, I got a couple other little things in here. So let's just talk about my last and final. I can't even call it a Hobby Lobby haul. It's so small, but we did get a couple of cute things. This is the Cozy Toes. Where's my camera? There you go, Cozy Toes, and it's got a little bit of give to it, so it's good for the stretchiness in socks. It has 210 yards for each one of these little ones. I love it when they do this. They show you how it looks worked up. I really, really like that. And the color is Ice to Meet You. Love it. 210 yards, 1.75 ounces. This is a 50-gram ball, so it's a small ball. Regular $4.99, on for $124. So this is all they had. This is all they had in this color. So that's 1,000 yards. I think that's enough for a small shawl, but I want to say I have one or two of these already in my collection, because this is a color, it's kind of a purpley grayish silver. This is something I would have grabbed, and it seems like I have a couple of these already. Then I for sure will have enough for a shawl, I think. So then I got to find some easy-ish shawl patterns, because when they're mixed colors like this, I like the pattern to be easier, so you can, because if it's a complicated stitch, it's not going to show up. My hair is very curly. As you can see, all of this is natural curl. And so when I pull it back, it still tries to pop up in the little curls, and I'm forever doing this, and it doesn't do a bit of good. So that's why I'm always fussing with my hair. I know some people don't like that. It annoys people. But I don't notice it throughout the day, and then I see it on the camera, and I'm like, looks terrible. So we got the Cozy Toes. And then, what else did we get in here? Oh, I've got a pen. I found a pen. I like pens. Oh, I popped over to the jewelry making section, and they had these. Let's see. It's supposed to be a charm, but since there was two of them, I thought I could make a pair of earrings out of this for the 4th of July. Won't that be fun? And 50% off. So I got that for $2. So a nice pair of earrings for $2. Can't beat that. Of course, you know, it'll go in my list of things that I need to do. And also half off, I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I love them. Little buttons that say handmade with love. Isn't that cute? So I got those for $2. $2. And it was a good size. It doesn't say what size. Oh, 1 inch. They're 1 inch buttons. So I really like those. And I was thinking, like, sometimes you make a shawl and it asks for 1 or 2 buttons across here, you know, so you can throw your shawl up and then kind of button it right there. I thought it would be good for that. But I'll find something. I really, really liked those little buttons. And then I got some beads, because in theory, I'm going to be making stitch markers. That's one of the things that I have in my list of things that I want to do. So I really like these little beads, and they were on sale for $1.74 also. So that's my entire last little bit of stuff I got at Hobby Lobby. It was past the tail end of the sale, And what I did was we have 2 of them in our area, but neither one of them are close to me. So I had to, it's like 20 minutes one way, 20 minutes the other way. And I had hit this one and they didn't have hardly anything. And then on my big one, I had hit that one, and I was in the neighborhood and I knew the main part of the sale was over, and I thought I'm just going to pop in and see if they threw anything else on sale, or sometimes the first time you go in, you're like, oh, I don't need that. And then you go back and you go, oh, maybe I do need that. And that was kind of the thing with the Cozy Toes. Affordable crafty. Kim, affordable crafty. I knew it. She had mentioned the Cozy Toes, and I'm like, yeah, I really do like that. So that's why I kind of went in looking for Cozy Toes. They had that one, and they had one in a really bright neon color, and they only had 2 of them. So obviously socks for that. But that's just not something I knew I would wear. I would even enjoy making. And I don't have a lot of sock yarn, but I've got enough because, I've never made socks. So I don't need a huge stash of sock yarn. So that's the very, very, very end. And I got another bag. I liked the moon on it. The moon caught my eye. Here in Washington, you have to pay for your bags at the grocery stores, at any store. And I always forget, and I never take a bag with me. Well, at least at a place like this, you can buy a nice, and I just use these for project bags. So it doesn't bother me at all to buy these. And it's, they're 99 cents or $1.50, something like that. So, for a project bag, that's a good price. And, but otherwise, even at the grocery stores, we have to pay for our bags. So, you end up carrying your stuff out like this because I never remember to take them in with me. But I do, because of that, I do want to make up a few market bags. And I have a bit of a collection of cotton yarns, the cotton craft yarns that I got on the clearance. And I paid 50 cents a skein for them, 45 cents, something like that. And maybe 2 skeins you might need for a bag, maybe 3. Doesn't take a lot. So for a couple of bucks, I can make up a nice market bag. And so that's kind of the next smallish projects that I want to start working on. An hour and a half. Yeah. So when we were in Texas, there wasn't a Hobby Lobby for hours of drive. I think the closest was probably Midland, and that was an hour and a half from us. I know, Lisa, I need to keep some in my car. And even when I do that, I forget to bring them in the store with me. And I did for a long time. And it was just recently when I cleaned out my car, because sometimes, here's the other thing. For those of you that need to use those reusable bags, if you've got the heavyweight bags like this that they sell at the stores, or those ones that are sort of insulated, to help with the cold stuff and the hot stuff, you want to make sure that you're not cross-contaminating your food. So if I'm putting hamburger and chicken in this week, and next week I'm putting in my fruits and veggies, yeah, I've just cross-contaminated my food. So I try to keep separate ones for meat type stuff than the fresh stuff. And then they need to be washed on a regular basis. And when we leave them in our car, I forget to bring them in and wash them to, just wipe the insides out, rinse them out. So that's my dilemma. So use and it's only 8 cents for a bag, and they're really a nice heavy. It's not the thin, wispy plastic like the bags used to be. It's a real nice heavyweight bag. And to be honest, I don't buy a lot of groceries. We've got quite a bit of stuff in the freezer still from Texas, and I've been buying produce boxes. There's a place here. It's almost everywhere. It's called Bountiful Baskets. And if you look that up, it's like kind of like farmers market type stuff. And every couple of weeks you order your little basket from them, and then you go and pick it up, and it's all run by volunteers, and it's fresh fruits and vegetables, and you never know what you're going to get. But it's like $20, $22. It's really inexpensive. And I split it with my grandson, because even the amount that they give, I can't get through in 2 weeks. So it's really a nice way to get some fresh produce. And you get stuff in there that maybe you wouldn't normally, like last week we got an artichoke, and I would never buy an artichoke. So this week we got an avocado. That was really nice. And so it's fun to get, you never know what you're going to get. It's a surprise, and then figure out what you're going to use it for. We got some fresh corn, so we grilled the corn. And that's a good way for us to get some veggies that normally I wouldn't pick up. Or, I just run into the store to get one or two little things, and I don't peruse through all the different aisles. And since it keeps me out of the stores, I'm not spending extra money on stuff like ice cream. I love my ice cream. Ice cream and cookies are my downfall. So bring your bags in the grocery store and then clean them before you take them back out. Yeah, I know. You're just so organized. You're so organized. And that's my other problem, Lisa, is half the time I don't know when I'm going to the store. It's just like, oh, I need to get this one thing. Yeah, Denise, I really like it. Bountiful Baskets. Just look it up online. They have an app, but I haven't really found the app to be of any value. It's just as easy to go to their little website and sign up. It may not be the entire country. I don't know. Oh, thank you so much, Frog. I appreciate that. Yes, thumbs up. Here, I'll put that little banner up. I'm just chatting away. There. There's my email address if you want to pop me a note for anything. I do have a couple of new videos coming out probably today and tomorrow. We got some stuff in the mail. And so we had to do a little unbagging of that. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be my quarterly crochet blanket, and it was not. I had forgotten that I had ordered a couple things. Mary Maxim just had a sale, 25% off on all their blanket kits. And these were included, which I didn't think they would be because they're not really blankets, but they were 25% off, and then I got free shipping. Also, I've got coming in soonish. And I don't understand why I keep getting them. Annie's keeps sending me coupons, I guess is the word, keywords to use for their kits. And the thing is, I have subscribed to almost every one of the Annie's kits at one time or another. And maybe they're trying to get me back. I don't know. But they keep sending me coupons where I can order the kit free and just pay shipping. And I know I talked about a code the other day. I think it was last Tuesday. And I could never get that code to work. It absolutely would not work. So I thought, Hey, good morning, Tracy. So, but last week I got 2 more codes and they were kit specific. So I went ahead and ordered 2 more kits. And then I called in yesterday and, canceled them out. But they keep sending me the codes for the free kits. So, and this is funny because this cost me $5.95 for the shipping. And I ordered the sock kit. Well, you guys remember about a month or so ago, I ordered the sock kit on one of their free things, and it's the exact same one. So now I have 2 skeins of this delicious. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I did go on her website, and she has really, really, really pretty yarn. It's not overly expensive, for hand-dyed yarn. And this is just sock yarn. It's 75 merino, 25 nylon, so that's perfect for sock. You know what I learned recently? And I don't remember whose video. Sorry, Mister's puttering around in the kitchen, running water, making all kinds of noise. So, but I did recently learn that fingering weight yarn and sock yarn are not the same thing. Even though they're the same weight, they're not the same product. And what I learned was when you're looking for sock yarn, you want to make sure it's got some nylon in it. That's really important. That 25% nylon is what gives your socks the stretchiness and the strength to hold up. So if you want to if you're going to be making socks out of your fingering weight yarn, make sure it's got some nylon. Or there's also something, like if your yarn is what is it? Acrylic, an acrylic sock type yarn. They are putting something in it, and it's 3 letters, and I don't remember the 3 letters, but that's the same thing. It's to give it that weight. So, but yeah, is this not just absolutely gorgeous? And so basically I paid $6 for this skein of yarn and the instructions. And this is a cute pair of socks too. Really simple. And it's from the Love to Knit Sock Club. Some of their kits are, this one was too much. I remember it was like $30, $35, which is too much for a kit, not knowing what you're going to get. But speaking of socks, next Friday, the Friday after the 4th of July, is my sock knitting class. That's going to start next Friday, and it's 4 weeks long. And I know you guys told me about Crazy Sock Lady. Is that her name? The Crazy Sock Lady? You told me about her, and I did go in and watch her videos. And you're right. I think I absolutely could have figured it out based on her videos. But I already signed up for this class. I signed up for it in April, and then I had gotten sick, so I wasn't able to do it. And so in June, I wasn't able to do it. So then she let me bump it to the July class. So that starts this Friday. And so I'm going to be making a pair of socks. I'm going to be knitting a pair of socks. I got the yarn. The yarn that I was going to use is from Premier. I think it's Premier. It's the fruit yarn. Remember they came out with that new line of fruit yarn? The one that I have picked is the watermelon color. So that I'm excited to use that. And I thought it was a good first one. It's a little forgiving. Yeah, I think you're right, Lisa. I think you're absolutely right, because I do believe, I mean, this yarn it's stunning. It is absolutely beautiful, but it was too expensive. It's just too expensive for a kit. If I'm going to buy a kit that's that much, I'll pay that much for this, but honestly, I paid the exact same amount for this. Whoops, there goes my light again, as I paid for this. So, and yes, I understand quality, etc. And this is very nice yarn. There's no question about that. But if I'm buying a kit like this where I don't know what I'm getting, I'm not going to pay that much money for something that I don't know what's going to show up on my doorstep. So I'm excited about the yarn, about the knit class, the sock knit class. And I think, hello, Jennifer, thanks for popping in. I think that having somebody, an in-person teacher, because it's knit. If it was crochet, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But I just don't have the confidence with the knit that I do. And, a lot of times you get lots of good little tricks and tips when you're sitting there with somebody and you can ask a little question, and, the heels scare me, but it's probably not that big a deal. Once I actually get through it, I think I'll probably be okay. Oh, take a breath. Everybody take a drink of coffee. There's good coffee this morning. So for those of you that are just popping in and was expecting to see Dina, she had an emergency at her house. They lost power. They had a big storm. And so she let me know that she wasn't going to make it in this morning. So rather than cancel, I thought I would just pop in and visit. Yeah, you're right, Lisa. That is funny. Good eye, Tracy. Get rid of the kids that don't sell well. So the kids that they're not selling enough. They gotta move on. Get the next group of kids in there. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Try knitting. Yeah, it's funny. I'm doing okay with it. And then this morning I saw, do you guys get 80 million emails? Oh my gosh, I get hundreds of emails every day. And this one caught my eye this morning. I'm not going to be able to find it now because it just caught my eye right. Oh, there's my library notice. My books are almost overdue. So I got to pop over and do that. It was Church Mouse Yarns and Teas. Her stuff is, it's really pretty. It's really pretty stuff. And it catches me. And she did this out of just 2 different neutral colors. So that's her color. Whoops. Throwing the stuff around. That's the color palette she used. So very neutral. And then this is, and it's a cowl. Isn't that pretty? Just really simple. And it's just the plain knit and the stockinette stitch. And it looks like 6 or 8 rows of each, and then you switch it out. But I just love the simplicity of it. And then at the same time, it's very textured and very, very pretty. That's going on my list. And that's a nice size project for a knit project. A cowl is a nice size project to actually maybe get to. I know the look of, you just can't beat the look of knitting. You just can't beat it. It is so pretty and so sophisticated. Is that the word I want? It always looks very smooth and very tidy. And these are knit. These are knit. Let's see if I can get this out. I just finished a video this morning on it while I was waiting for this to start. So it's going to come out tomorrow. So you'll get the full review of this. And it's a paid pattern, so I can't even show you all the stuff. But isn't that pretty? And it shows it in the black. But I decided on this beautiful sort of cranberry. Oh, my light is just, it is not working out. It's a beautiful cranberry color. There we go. It's called Red Wine, but it's much richer than it's showing there. Much, much richer. And so that's going to be sort of a Ruana, sort of a wrappy thing. But yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty simple stitches. And it shouldn't be too difficult, too much brain power. There's a couple of things in there that I need to learn how to do. But I know Miss Linda Simpson, she'll help me out with the 1 or 2 stitches. And so will Marsh. Hey, you guys, just in case, yeah, that color, Denise. And they had 5 or 6 choices. They had a light blue and a teal and a dark blue, one they called denim, and then the black and the cranberry. I think they called it wine, but I just loved that. And then with the edging in that sort of gray, it's going to look so, so pretty. It'll go on my list, go in with my other kits, but I do really, really like that. I did want to mention, Marsh Knitting 101. She is getting pretty close to 500, and she would like us to pop over and subscribe to her channel if possible. I tried to set up the Nightbot, and Crystal, the crazy chicken cat lady, helped me. We did the whole process step by step. Doesn't work. We tried it last night in bingo. Let's try it today just for funsies. Someone put the word drop in. If you have a channel, put the word drop in. Let's see if we can see if it'll work today. Because it just absolutely would not work last night. Oh, good morning, Spring. Oh, Spring. I'm glad you're here. For this reason. Boom. Yeah. Nope, not working. I don't know why. We spent an hour. We went through that thing symbol by symbol, word by word, and just it absolutely wouldn't work. So anyway, Marsh Knitting 101, if you guys would pop over there. And there is a couple of gals. So hashtag race to 500 friends. Here, let me type that in. Let's see if I can do this. Hashtag RACE race to 500 Friends. Enter. There. Hashtag race to 500 friends. It's Laura's Yarn Talk and Grammy Colleen Crochets. As you know, we're trying to help out some of the smaller YouTubers, and you know how exciting it is to get to that first 500 so you can get your community page, which is super important. But yeah, if we can help those people out, go over there and throw a little yarn in their window, and let's see if we can get them to 500. All of them were pretty close, pretty close. So they're having the two gals. They were having a little bit of a race, and I know she's in the background yelling at me. Amber from Foster and Crochet put up a video and tagged this. So that's how I learned about it. And I was already subscribed. So that was nice. I love helping and subscribing. Yeah. Oh, cool, Frog. That's neat. She was one of your winners. That is wonderful. So yeah, go over there and give them a little love. Put a comment in their video. You know how the comments help the analytics from YouTube. I have no idea how the YouTube thought process works, but all of that stuff helps. Hey, Camper 14, we missed you at bingo. I put you on my list and then you didn't pick any numbers and come play. So bingo, last night's bingo went really, really well. We had a bunch of people. I want to say in the 40s. We had 40 people playing last night, and the games went pretty quick. We had finished 3 games in just over an hour. So then we just sat and chit-chatted for a while, and we spent a lot of time talking about ducks and chickens, and yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. And I still could not get the bingo game to come up. That's the other thing that Crystal and I worked with. I got it to load on my screen and it was there, but it would cut off the bottom part where the buttons were for me to push to make it play. So that worked not at all. So we still just ran it on the tablet. It worked fine. It was fine. And I'll keep plugging away trying to get, technology is just not a thing. The funny thing is, and you guys will relate to this, one of my jobs in the past, I used to be the help desk person for a hospital's patient portal. So when you tried to get into your portal and it couldn't work, I was the one you called for help. Isn't that ridiculous? So the one little thing that I could help you with, I was good at, but the rest of it, forget it. So yeah, bingo was fun. Yeah. So Jennifer, who else do you play bingo with? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last night. Now next week, so this is what's going on. Because next Monday is the 4th of July, we are not playing bingo. That's the other video. I knew I had 3 videos I needed to make. And I kept saying, I can't think of the other video. I can't think of the other video. And he's like, yeah, the other one's probably the most important. And it's the bingo video. Let me write this down real quick. Bingo video. Okay. So no bingo on Monday. And because it's the 4th of July. And so the following Monday, we will have bingo again. So now your June bingo numbers have expired. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. So I'm putting up a new video in theory today. It'll still have the grandma picture on it, but it'll say July numbers. Now, Miss Morgan has created a notebook and has written everybody's numbers down that we got in last month's grandma video, and the people that joined in last night and gave us numbers during the live. So we've got all of those recorded in a book. If you want to keep the same numbers, you don't have to do anything. If you want to change your numbers, then you'll go into the new video that I'm going to post today. Yes, Camper. You'll go into the new video that I'm going to post today and you'll pick your numbers. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Frog, for putting that up. So, to recap, if you want to keep the numbers you've been playing and they're in the video, last month's video, just leave them. You don't have to do anything. We've already got them in the notebook. They'll roll over. If you want to pick new numbers for July, you'll pick your new numbers in the July grandma video. Is that clear? So you only have to pick more numbers if you want to change them for the July video. So in the July video, you'll go in and you'll pick 9 numbers, and we're going to do it right this time. It's going to be 1 through 75, where before it was 70. So it'll be numbers, pick 9 numbers between 1 and 75. Put them in the new video. We'll add them to the list and we'll be ready to go. Okay. The first couple weeks I've been letting people add numbers during the game. It's really, it's hard to keep up with that. So likely we won't be doing that. You'll have to have already picked your numbers in order to play. I hate to be, I feel like I'm being mean doing that, but I don't know. It's just really tricky. And if I didn't have Morgan here helping with that, there's no way I could have kept up with that. So then we'll use the regular video game. It draws the numbers, and you have to match 5 numbers. So the first one to match 5 numbers wins. And that's basically how that does. And then we just sit and chit chat in between the numbers. And sometimes we forget we're playing bingo. And, but I think it ran pretty smooth. Do you guys think it ran pretty smooth last night? Other than, my actual thing not working. And if it hadn't been for Miss Morgan, I would have been going nuts trying to keep track. And then when we had a bingo, she called the numbers out and we compared them to the board, and it worked out really, really well. And we gave away lots and lots of yarn last night. And this is open worldwide. If you are out of the contiguous United States, I've got smaller things that I can send out to you that aren't like big yarn type stuff because, of course, postage. And I don't even understand. I guess there's some countries you're not even allowed to send stuff to. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The other thing that I could do and may do for prizes for the people outside of the U.S. is there'll be a link to a digital pattern. I'll buy a pattern from somebody and then we'll get that to you that way. That'd be a fun way. Well, of course, Sharon, food shopping. Absolutely. Thank you for popping in. I know this isn't what anybody expected. Me just sitting here rambling on. I know you were expecting Miss Dina, and we'll connect with her, and we have to connect last week. My brain. Who is it supposed to be last week? I can see her. I'll have to go back and look at my notes. It's terrible. But she had an emergency also last week. And so both of them we're going to reschedule, and we'll get them on here because I know that's who you really wanted to listen to. Certainly not to me, just jabbering on. I'm just looking here real quick because it bothers me that, there's Miss Knitting. I love her. Gina, Knitting Turnpike. Love her. Let's see here. Videos. Who was it supposed to have been? We ended up with Dana as our surprise guest. Boy, that was super nice of her. Sandy from Left is Right. That's who it was supposed to be last week. Sandy from Left is Right. And she had an emergency at her house too. So we will get both of them rescheduled because I know that's who you really wanted to talk to, not me. But we're having fun. I'm having a great time visiting. So we showed you those projects. Let's see, what am I working on here? And I was telling you guys last night, my furls hook that broke is going to be replaced. It's on the way. Should be here by now. They are actually very quick. They're in Texas now, but usually when they mail something, it's pretty darn fast. They are replacing it, no cost. They didn't give me any hassle at all. And I found out when I sent my little email in that the color that I had was actually a specialty color. And so, and they said that they even hold some of those back for just this kind of problem. So I'm getting, and I would have taken any color, but they're like, nope, we've got a few. And so I'm getting my replacement hooks in. So in the meantime, I'm using this, and it actually works up very nice. This is one that I won, and it's got a very, very sharp head on that. Look at that. But I like it. I do like it. Good morning, Erin. Thank you for popping in. So I'm still working on this shawl. That is one of Darla Crafty Yarn Owl. Darla Crafty. Darla is my guest next week. Let's hope there's not another emergency. Let me show you. It's got it sitting right here. I'll dig it out. Let's see if I can get to it without knocking everything over. If I can do that, I can see the end of it right here. So this is what happened. It was my size H. Can you see there? It's my size H wooden furls. It was called Purdue. Was the wood. Let's see if you can see. Okay. There. Can you see the edge of it? No, probably not. No. But anyway, it broke right there. A chunk of the wood came out off of the head, and it broke right where there's that word again. You know where the striations in the wood is? My brain, you guys, remember, I have problems with words. Somebody thought of it last night for me. Anyway, where the striations in the wood are, it broke right off. And I was working with the grain. Thank you, Tracy. I think you had caught it for me last night. The grain of the wood. And so it broke right at the grain of the wood. And I was working with it, and it kept catching on the yarn and catching and catching and catching. And I'm like, this yarn did not do this before. Of course, it never occurred to me to check my hook, the head of my hook. And then I was looking at it, and I saw the little bit of wood just pop off the end. So I sent them an email, and I says, hey, it broke. I sent them a picture. I was able to get a good picture of the broken part. Sent them the picture of the size and the color. And I told them that I couldn't find that color on their list. And when she wrote back, it took her a couple days to write back. I was getting a little worried. And she goes, oh, that's a special color. We've got some set aside for this very reason. We'll get it right out in the mail to you. No problem at all. So again, I like Furl's hooks, but I also like their customer service. However, their warranty on their hooks is only good if you buy it directly from them. If you buy it, because I have bought some from the Mary Maxim catalog, it's not covered under the warranty. I have received them as gifts, not covered under the warranty. If you get a hook gifted to you, make sure you find out the person's name that they ordered it under. And if you can get a copy of the order or the shipping manifest or something like that, then they will honor it if you have that stuff. But I received one as a Secret Santa gift, and it could have been one of 30 different people. And I tried to get it replaced, and they would not replace it because I couldn't prove where I had bought it, is really what it boiled down to. But if you buy it from them, then it is warranted. And I just this second, the invoice number, that's what they need. I just this second wondered, because lately I've been buying their seconds, because of the ones where the colors are just messed up, and they're usually just fine. I wonder if those have the same warranty. I didn't check into that. That would be interesting to find out if they have the same warranty. But in the meantime, I'm using this hook, and I'm using this yarn, and this is Darla the Crafty Yarn Owl's pattern. And I'd really, really like to have it finished when I have her as my guest next week, but it may not happen. I'm hardly getting any crocheting done these days. So I'm on the end of my second skein of yarn. That's all I've got left. Look at the pretty sparkles in that. This is such pretty yarn. And this was not expensive. Hey, Laura. Laura, how are you doing on your race to 500? I've been telling people all about it, sending people your way. So Big Twist Twinkle, 380 yarns, 380 yarns in here. And it, of course, machine washable and dryable, 4-weight Joanne fabrics. And when I bought it, they had a sale. Of course, that's the full skein. If you bought 3 skeins, you got 2 for free. So this was the free one that I got. Look at the sparkles in that thing. Isn't it gorgeous? So how pretty is that going to look? And when you get to the end of this, there we go. When we get to the end of this, there is the last row has a special stitch. I'm going to use this for that special stitch. So I think that's going to be so, so pretty. This is a Christmas present for somebody. And she's a little tiny thing. If it were me, I'd want it much longer and much wider. Oh, I heard a trick the other day. Hey, good morning, Angela. I heard a trick the other day. And because I always want my shawls really wide, because I want to be able to wrap all up in it. And the other day I read a thing, or heard somebody say that you want your shawl a little bit wider than you are tall. So add like 6 inches to your height, and that's a good thing. I still don't know if that's quite, because that would be 66 inches for me. And I kind of like my shawls to be about 70. I really like to wrap up in them because, you know, I'm kind of wide and I got big shoulders. And so this would be too small for me. I definitely wouldn't want that. And as far as the length goes, it's getting there. It's getting there. So when I get the whole, where did it go? Where did it go? Is it up here? It's up here. When I get this all done, I'll take a good close look. Probably only 1 or 2 more rows. I don't know. I'll take a good close look at how big it is. And then, because I'm going to add that other as the final row. And like I said, she's a little bitty thing. So it needs to be on the smaller side. So it doesn't. Okay, back to lurking. Angela, how are you doing? I am behind in your videos. I just watched one this morning, but I'm not your videos. I am behind in everybody's videos. You've got some special friends coming pretty soon. When are they coming? When are the boys going to be there, Angela? I know they're coming soon. I don't want to. And yeah, so that's what's going on with this. And that's the main thing I'm working on right now. So the other thing that I'm working on, and it's not my fault. Remember, I told you guys I was going to finish this before I started something else. Not my fault. It's never my fault, right? Let me get this put away. Another one of my... I was a little disappointed with this bag. I bought this at Joann's when I bought the yarn, and it's coming apart. You know, for $1.99, I expect it to last a lot better than that. No, not at all. So, I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Look what I have. I got this in a mystery box. The one from, I'm going to say it wrong, Corners, the one that smelled so bad. That box smelled so bad. It smelled like vomit. It was horrible. Still has a little bit of the smell, but it's not nearly as bad. So I spent a month airing that yarn out. I had it spread out all over this house. I had a basket that I would put out on the front porch, and so it would air out, and I would fluff through it so it would get, to the top. And I put little bags of lavender in there with it. And I finally found the culprit. There was this one beautiful baby blue yarn. I think it was in Angora. It had a lot of halo, quite thin, and there were 6 skeins, and it smelled horrific. I'm pretty sure that was the culprit for the rest of it. So now most of it is at least doable. Yeah, I mean, I can still smell it, but it's not awful. And so this is one of the ones, and I just found this sitting. I didn't get it, but it must have fallen onto the chair when I was picking them all up off the table and putting it away. It is, I'm going to say a 5 chunky. It's pretty chunky. Pretty chunky. Where's my thing? And it's, it feels like wool. Definitely feels like at least maybe no, I don't think it's a blend. I think it's just a wool. But this is a dyeable. When you get now I've gotten 2 of their mystery bags. And so, that makes me an expert now. But, I absolutely did, Lisa. That did not go well. I won't ever buy another mystery bag from them, which makes me sad because I really, really like their yarn. And I don't want to be that person. But this is what my experience was. I had what I consider to be a pretty significant problem. And basically they brushed me off. They just basically said, yeah, that's the way yarn smells. No, that is not the way yarn smells. I have bought a lot of yarn and nothing has ever smelled like that before. And I know for a fact, as do you guys, another YouTuber, a very, very big YouTuber, bought a box of that same mystery box, and it had some cardboard flecks in it and some styrofoam flecks in it, and they immediately replaced hers. So I'm not saying anything, but a little suspicious to me. I was so disappointed in their customer service because they're a good company. I love that it's a USA company. There's very high quality yarn from them, beautiful yarn, and she completely just brushed me off. So I fiddled around with that yarn for weeks, turning it and moving it and putting it outside and putting it in the sunshine. And I mean, we had yarn in this house everywhere. I'll never buy again. Never again. And my one little thing of yarn isn't going to hurt them in the least. But yeah. So this is one of the yarns. So when you buy their mystery bags, in both of the ones that I've gotten, I have gotten some dyeable, I guess you would call it. It's I don't know if it's raw yarn. I don't really know what raw yarn is, but I know there's always a few skeins in there that you can dye. And even though dyeing yarn isn't like a lifelong goal of mine, it kind of sounds like fun to do it once. So I don't want to buy a whole bunch of dye. And I probably have 4 or 5 of these that can be dyed. And each one is different. They're not like, I didn't get like 5 of this. They're different weights of yarn. Bear yarn. Thank you, Spring. And I know some people have used Kool-Aid to dye with. So my question to you guys is, have you ever dyed yarn? And I know, Angela, you have. Have you ever dyed yarn? Have you ever used Kool-Aid to dye yarn with? How does it hold up? I worry that the Kool-Aid is going to rinse out afterwards. And so, Angela, what do you use? Do you use the good official dye with all the chemicals and everything? See, all those chemicals scare me. Plus, I don't want to have to buy a whole different set of pots and pans and things for a one-time dye project. The other thing I thought of, and I've seen people use natural, like avocado and beetroot and things like that, and they've dyed up beautifully just using that stuff. But then again, don't you have to have some kind of an acid for it to set? I'll watch some videos. But I know Bagaday did some with, she used Kool-Aid, and she also used like food coloring, Wilton food coloring. There you go. So, and it's the same thing. I'm wondering, will that hold up? That's really my question. Will that hold up? Okay, it does bleed out. That's what I'm wondering. So you really absolutely have to have, And, you know, the Pawpaw guys and I were talking, wondering about the Easter egg dye tablets, because you've got the acid that you use from the vinegar. Yeah. So I have to find some little, and I almost bet there is a pre-done yarn dye kit out there somewhere with what I need in it. So the RIT dye, yeah. So that's what people, the RIT dye is usually what people use for, yeah, I know it's full of chemicals, but I don't know if it's got the acid that I need to make it set. That's my only question. That's my question. Is it going to set? Or does this then become a, well, and it may be a hand wash product anyway with the kind of, because of course we don't know what kind of yarn it is. So that's, add that to my list of things that I want to do someday when life slows down. Oh, spring, there are kits. Okay. So if I can buy a kit that I don't have to buy the yarn for, that's something that I'll look at. Pre-dye kits. Perfect. Perfect. I will absolutely do that. I'll put that on my list. Hey, Kathy, Lori, I see some new faces in here. So for those of you who were expecting Dina from Dina's Homespun Fun, what happened was they had a big storm at their house and they lost their power. And she contacted me and said, hey, I may not make it. May not make it. And of course, that's more important than our little show. Uh-oh, what's Mr. doing out there? We got a pile, and I mean a pile of bark, of chips, wood chips to spread out in the yard. And the last pile we got, there's a big old stick sticking out of it. And I walked by and I was tugging on that stick, and I see he's out there tugging on that stick right now. So you dyed yarn for Sunita? Spring, we got to talk. Hey, Jet Onein, how are you? Thanks for popping in. So anyway, Dina had an emergency. She has no power, or if she's got power back, she's dealing with that. And so she texted me and said, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. And she didn't. So we're just visiting. You know me, I can talk forever. So we're talking about all the new projects that I want to do and the kits that I just have bought. So the video for this is loading. It's going to be tomorrow. Oh, Fiber Spider's coming up. Well, we don't want to miss him. What time does he start? In just a few minutes, probably. Yeah. If you guys want to pop over to Fiber Spider, absolutely. He's always really, I love him. Hey, just so you know, I tried to contact him to be a guest. I can't find a way to get a hold of him. I'm still working on it. Okay, so Miss Angela she's doing, oh, you're dyeing yarn for him. You're dyeing yarn for him? Oh, Spring, we need to talk. Oh no, Grammy Colleen is ahead. We got to go to Laura's yarn talk. Throw some yarn in her window. You've done the cotton yarn. I think cotton yarn would dye up beautifully. That would be really, really something I'd be interested in. I lost my train of thought. Yarn dyeing. Is that something that a lot of you guys are? It sounds like from the content here. So Angela, what kind of yarn are you? I know we talked before about you having the hand dyed yarns, and I'm glad to see that it's coming on there. What kind of yarns are you going to have up there? Different weights and different fibers, or are you sticking with some basic kind of thing? Oh, sorry. I am sniffly this morning. Yeah, I'm excited to see your yarn when you get it up there. I keep telling everybody that I am not. Oh, thank you so much, Spring. I appreciate that. Good morning, LP. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, that's it. I'm just curious about it. I need to. One more thing. So I'm lucky because I've got Miss Morgan here, and she's young and fun. You're not an old fuddy-duddy like me, and she likes to try new things. Actually, Morgan, are you still awake? Didn't you and Batman do tie-dyed shirts last year? Shirts and bags and stuff?
We did bags and then also my bed sheets and dresses and stuff. We did reverse tie-dyeing.
Yes, the reverse tie-dyeing.
Yeah.
See? She is awesome.
We'll have to play around with it sometime.
Yes, so that's the fun thing with having her here. She encourages me to do things that I normally wouldn't do. She did a bunch of tie-dyeing. She tie-dyed her sheets. Who would ever think to do that? Not me. And I come from the tie-dye generation. So we're definitely going to be doing some yarn dyeing. Yep, she's excited. So she's the one that asked me to teach her to crochet. Bring me your crochet. Let's show them what you did. You're not in your jammies today, so you can come on here. Hey, thanks for popping in, Doris. We're just chit-chatting. Dina had an emergency and wasn't able to join us today. So she's doing so good. Now check this out, you guys. Isn't this wonderful? Aren't her stitches perfect? This is her first ever little project. So excited for her. She started out with a bag a day. I walked her through the stuff and then I said, let's find and this is going to be one of those, the sweaters, not a sweater. What is it called? The big thing. And they fold in a cocoon. It's going to be a cocoon. It's the granny square cocoon. I know everybody's saying what a great job you're doing. This is it's amazing. I'm so proud of her. And, we had fun shopping in my collection to get her some nice yarn. And I bought her some crochet hooks to start with. And so she's just doing a fabulous job. I'm so pleased. So pleased for her. So we just started out with some yarn that a different yarn for her to practice with. And she did so good. I said, you're ready. And so we found a video for her to watch so that she could, you know how it is when sometimes you're doing your stitches and you forget about them. And so I found a bag a day crochet granny square, and she struggled with it a little bit. And then she went on to that other fancy site, the TikTok, I think she said, and she found one on there that she liked. I don't do the TikTok. I don't do the Instagram. I do YouTube. And that's a stretch sometimes. But so she found one on there that it was easier for her to follow. And you know how it is. Different instructors for different people. I got no problem with that. You go and work with whatever instructor you click with. But she's just doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of her. And so because of that, I started my own, which from last night today, I have lost my crochet hook. I heard it fall out of the bag. So it's somewhere in that general area. So that's on my list of things to do. And I was going to make the same one. I was going to make the exact same granny. And then I found this other granny square. And it just had a little bit of texture to it. And it's got some V stitches. So this is what I'm using for my granny square cocoon sweater. And look at this yarn, you guys. I don't know where I bought it. I can't remember. It might have been a mystery bag. Who knows? But I've got about 6 or 8 of these, and they're huge. Look how big this is. It's called Red Heart Comfort, and I'm sure I ordered it online and had no idea how big it was going to be. It's as big as my head. It's Red Heart Comfort. It's called Latte Fleck. You can see it's got the little bits of color in it. And it really is, I'm liking the way it works up. It says it's a 4, but it's a heavy 4. It is a heavy 4. I would almost call it a 4.5 if there's such a thing, a lightweight 5. Red Heart Comfort. This is a 12-ounce ball. It's got 612 yards. So I might only need this one for my cocoon. Or a little bit more, but I've got several of these. So when I saw this on my shelf, see, that's the fun thing. Now that I've got my shelf, even though I still don't have a list of my yarn, and probably never will have, knowing myself, at least I saw it when I was putting it in there. Yeah, the Trubo. Oh man, I bet that's going to be gorgeous, Lori. I love Trubo. I kind of have a memory of it there. And I did see this sticking out and I'm like, oh, I love the color. And I thought this would be really nice for a cocoon sweater. So that's what I grabbed. And then while I was looking for a video to show her how to do this, I ran into this video. And of course, I cannot remember the lady's name. I cannot remember the name of the pattern. I hope I can even find the pattern to go back to when I find my hook that fell out. I was moving this from one place to another, and I heard the hook fall out and go clang, clang to the floor. So I'll find it. I got to dig under there, and I'll find it. So it's behind the couch somewhere. So I started that so I could work with her because I thought she'd need my help. Wrong. We spent an hour or two going over, I taught her how to read the label on the yarn. I thought that was important. I told her how to measure her yarn to make sure, because you know how it is. It'll say whatever size it is. Because in theory, this is the same size yarn. Well, I'll be danged. Look at this. When I hold them side to side, they really are the same. Huh. Isn't that interesting? This is just a little fluffier when it works up. But I told her how to read that. I told her, how to hold your, and that's probably been the only thing she, I don't want to say struggling because everybody's different. But, when I showed her how to wrap the yarn around her fingers, she's doing it different. And I don't think in the long run, she's going to be happy with it. But that's her thing. If that's how it works, that's how it works. Yeah, the problem is, Laura, I probably got 1,000 videos in my YouTube because I know some people are working on their hours, their watch hours. So I'll run their playlist at night while I'm sleeping. I know I can see her, Trish, the Purple Yarnivore, is needing hours. She's needing watch hours, you guys. So if you can run a playlist or two, that would be real helpful for her. And she has just taken on a second job. So you're not going to see her as much on YouTube. And I know she and I were kind of working on a project together. And I think that may have gone by the wayside as well. She's just too busy right now. Oh, yes. Kathy, you need to do an inventory while your wrist is healing. That's a great idea. Good job, Laura. So we need to help out Laura's Yarn Talk. We need to throw some yarn in her window. She's trying to get her 500. And I have to be fair, Laura, because I've already subscribed to both of you. So Grammy Colleen Crochets, she's also trying to get to 500, as is Marsh Knitting 101. I adore her. Marsh Knitting, her videos are very simple. She doesn't have a lot of them, but she's a beautiful knitter. See, that's the other person I could ask when I run into problems with this. Yeah, the cubes. I do have several cubes full of yarn. And it was the same thing. Last year, right before I moved, or right when we had moved in here, I had unpacked a lot of my yarn and I put it in organza bags and stuck them in the cubes. So at that point in time, I knew what I had. And so then a year later, I get home from working in Texas and I'm like, oh, I've got some watercolor yarn. Oh, I've got some True in there. So I still have no idea what yarn I have. She's going to help me do some inventory. And I don't know if you can see those boxes up there are full of yarn as well that need to be inventoried. We're getting there. We are getting there. Thank you, Camphor, for already being subscribed. What does Doris Rose Cottage have? I missed something. It says, so does Miss Doris. I know she doesn't have a broken arm. Yeah, totes. Oh, Lori says I need a bigger hook for the drape. Or is that for your project? I'm using, I want to say I used a J on this. Because I went up a size from what it recommended. For this project, you're saying I should use a bigger hook? Oh, granny, or you're doing that on your granny square. Oh yeah, with the True Boo. I bet you that is beautiful. Bye, Angela. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Doris purchased the Tom Card storage system. I have seen those. It's actually on my wish list at Amazon. Have you? So they must hold. That was why I was worried. They don't look super sturdy, and I was wondering about that. And even those, then you can buy the cube cubbies to put in there if you want. So you're already using 2 and you're going to get a third one for your yarn room. That's nice. My yarn room is my bedroom, so I don't have a lot of space in there, but I do have room for one more cube thing on the other wall. You know what I picked up this weekend? Man, I am not a big yard sailor, but Mr. is. And I keep telling him, we don't have room for the stuff we already have. We can't be buying more. So of course we were out running around and we hit a couple yard sales. I bought a great big, probably, if not 4 feet, 3 feet wide, big double cube, really sturdy 31 bag. You guys know the 31 products, super good quality, heavyweight, probably a $70 or $80 item from 31. I got it for $2, and it's going to hold a lot of yarn. So I'm real excited about that. They are, Lori, it's a cube system, and the walls of the cube are real lightweight plastic, I want to say, and you get it and you put the whole thing together. But I've seen videos of them put them together, and they pop together very easily, pretty well. But you can, so when you buy it, you're buying a certain number of the cubes. So let's say it has 12. So you can put it together any way you want. You could have 4, 3, 2, 1. You could have 4 rows of 3. You could have, 2, 2, 2, 2. If you got a little skinny spot, you can put them in any configuration that you want. And I want to say they're 1 foot squares. 1 foot squares, and then you just put whatever you want in there. There is a weight limit, but it was certainly enough for yarn. And they're very inexpensive. That's why I was wondering how they would hold up. I do have a question also. So let's say I buy a set with 12 in it. They are strong. Okay. Perfect yarn bar. And yours might be the one I watched. Can you do, like, say I buy one of 12, can I put 6 here and 6 there? Will it work together that way? So I guess, can you separate it and do 2 separate units is what I'm asking? Just because of you get a better price when you buy more. But who is it? There's somebody else who has just a whole wall of them behind them. They're kind of opaque. When you see through them, they're a little bit, and there's nothing in the front. Here's your, oh no, now have I lost her hook? No, there it is. Here's your project.
Okay, I'll come get it.
You get lots and lots of thumbs up and good jobs. Everybody says you did a really good job on. Yeah, her stitching is wonderful, isn't it? So, yeah, so I've seen those cubes and I really like them. Yours have a shelf and, oh, you got the one with doors. I saw the one with doors. And the only reason I would not do doors is because just like that, just like putting them in a cube, then you kind of can't see what you got. Or can you see through the door enough to kind of tell what's in there? Bye, Laura. Thanks for popping in. We appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen the black ones. I've seen the other colors. I think it's the white one that's a little bit see-through. But yeah, storage is always an issue for us, isn't it? Yeah, I think I can get this done. I'd like to get this done so that I can show Dana when she comes on next week. There, I was trying to do this while I am talking to you guys. It's not always the best. Sometimes I miss the stitch. Ah, Spring. I always appreciate it when you pop in here. So that's all my projects. That's what I want to do in the future. Trying that yarn dyeing stuff. Oh, this hair. Yeah, they are kind of a smoky clear. That was what I was thinking as well. So you kind of have a shadow of your yarn behind there. It's not that big deal. And it does help keep the dust and stuff off of it. The dog hair, Lori, that is what I was thinking of. Because the shelf we built, it has 6 shelves. It's 2 of them that are 3 feet wide. So I've got 6 feet wide, floor to ceiling, 8 feet tall, and 6 big shelves. And it's still not quite enough. Yeah, with the dust. Yarn Room of Horrors. I did watch that. So yours was the one that I watched. There's another gal, real small channel, and she emptied everything out of her room and put some of those together and rearranged her home. It looked darling when she was done, and I cannot remember her name. But I really enjoyed watching her videos. Yeah, the dust here is nothing like we dealt with in Texas, but it is still quite dusty here. Everywhere. It's just, general dust. So yeah, I agree. I think, and that's the other reason I got those organza bags, because anytime you can keep your yarn safer. And I have read, don't know if it's true or not, but I have read that keeping them enclosed, sealed in plastic, that is, let's see, this one had plastic bags. So not this kind of a bag, because it can breathe a little bit, but these bags that the yarn comes in like this, it doesn't breathe, and it's not good for the yarn. It can cause it to break down. Probably take a long time for that to happen. But so even the plastic totes, none of my plastic totes lids seal that great, but if you had one that really sealed well, I guess that's not good for your yarn. And the other thing for storing yarn is if it's in a cardboard box and it's sitting on the floor, like in the floor in your closet or something like that, it can get something called carpet beetles, which I guess you wouldn't even know if you had, and they're teensy tiny. You can't even see them, but they can bore up through that cardboard and get into your yarn. We just have to stay so careful with our yarn, take such good care of it. But that's why I bought those organza bags. I thought that would help take care of some of that stuff, keeping the dust. And yeah, what will make wool rot, the plastic or the organza bags? And that's the other thing I thought of. At first, it's most of my yarn is acrylic. Whoops, see, now I missed a stitch. I can tell it doesn't look right. So it'll make wool rot. Yeah, you just got to be careful how you store your stuff. That's the other reason I don't want my yarn staying out. The plastic will. Yeah, that's why I don't want my yarn staying out in the garage, the shop, for very long. I want to get it in here and out of onto the shelves so they've got some air. But again, you want them to be no dust in your yarn room. I don't know that even shutting the door would help keep it from mine. I've just got too much dust. Tracy's going to go to work. Have a great day at work, Tracy. Yeah, we're coming up on an hour and a half of just chit-chatting. It has been absolutely wonderful. I am so happy that you guys stayed with me. We will definitely reschedule Dina, so we'll have her here on another day. And let's not forget, next week we've got Darla from the Crafty Yarn Owl on Tuesday, same time, Tuesday at 10. I always say 10. It's 10 Central, 8 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Central. And no bingo next week, but watch for the bingo video to go in and pick your numbers for July. If you want to let your numbers ride, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to change them. But if you want to change them, go ahead and put them in the July bingo video. No bingo next Tuesday because it's 4th of July, so it'll be the following Tuesday. Nope, Monday, following Monday. Fun Day Monday. Next Tuesday is our live with Darla. So thank you guys ever so much. Please, I appreciate the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would throw some yarn in my window and subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later. Everybody stay safe and have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's a beautiful sunny day here today. And I've got a list this long of chores I have to do. So HEPA filter, yes, absolutely HEPA filter. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't sleep well last night, Lisa. I hope you feel better soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.